woman in a long time. At least he didn't try to pass it off like he wasn't even saying that, There's something to that.
Yeah, exactly. He was at least honest about being a creep.
In the state of Georgia, 16 is too young, 17 is not.
Oh, boy.
Ooh,
Then it's fine.
Why that was interesting.
Oh, that's why he said that. Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh, boy. Yeah.
So what was your
sit on that?
What was your longer point?
Just kind of the chaos at Woodbury. Like, everything goes to shit. It's like
Shane
a shootout at the OK Corral. Shane shows up out of the blue. Oscar dies. Poor Oscar. I feel even more annoyed about Oscar's death on this rewatch because I really like that actor.
I missed it. I didn't even see it. I must have been looking away. It just
on top of
happened
the
so
bus.
He's just
fast.
yeah, he's helping Maggie over the bus, and it's just really rough and out of the blue, and I just feel like there was a little bit of a place for Oscar.
Yes.
And I think it's very unfortunate for Walking Dead lore that this happened in the episode where Tyrese got introduced, because that's where the whole one in, one out thing came.
And we did 2 interviews with Glenn Mazzara, and on the second one, which I'll try to remember to put in the show notes, I asked him about, people are saying that you're killing off one black character and bringing in a new one, and what's your response to that? And I can't remember what he said, but we had.
Imagine if he was just like, yeah.
No, he didn't say that. He wasn't happy.
That's in the show notes. Like, we do that. That's the rule. But yeah, it was unfortunate timing, and I think they could have had him around longer. But I think it would have been unrealistic to have nobody die in that conflict. But yeah,
I just think, what are you doing going on a life or death mission for people that you don't know, and then look what happens. Like, I just felt bad.
So you're
for
saying
him.
he deserved it?
I'm not saying he deserved it. You should have known, but no. I'm just like, it's an unfortunate turn for this character because the actor was so good, and I would have liked to have seen more from him.
No, he was great. But yeah, we see. It's funny watching it again, seeing when the show budget starts to expand in later seasons. I am like, oh, some of this really does look like sets, which is quite funny. But we have this kind of stakeout outside the walls with Rick, Oscar, and Daryl. They sneak in through the pantry. They find this red shirt Woodburyan who Rick doesn't kill, which I was amazed by. I was like, oh wow, one time Rick doesn't just randomly kill a dude. It feels like Rick's getting back to himself, but then of course we see him hallucinate Shane, and that all kind of comes flashing back.
What was the point of that, do you think? Why have him hallucinate?
Oh, probably
Shane?
just to get Bernthal back on set, because they were all like best buds.
No, seriously, like, why? I don't quite understand why they would have Rick cease. Is just another sign that he's not quite.
I think it's his mental break. I think it's a sign
Ghost Laurie is yet to come, right? So
yeah, I think it's all is not well, really, in the brain of Rick.
Do you think that he associates kind of this tactical police move that they go to extract them, and all the firefight that came after that? Maybe it made him kind of think about when he was a cop with Shane, and then it brought him to having to be forced to kill Shane.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, now Shane's on the other side of a skirmish like this.
Yeah,
I like that.
I think a line that really made me laugh, but it was actually quite a sad little scene in it all, is when they're hiding in an old shop front and Michonne disappears. So it's Glenn, Maggie, Merle, Rick. I feel like Oscar might be there. I can't quite remember. And they're talking about Merle, and Daryl's like, Merle's the governor? Like, oh my god, my brother got a job. And they're like, no.
I'm so proud. No, he's second in command. Okay, well, that's still good.
But something I liked about Norman Reedus's performance, because we talk a lot about Daryl as like someone who's had this like really traumatic childhood, and a lot of his journey is about learning to parent and reparent and grow. The minute they start talking about Merle, Daryl becomes quite young again. Like, you can see it, like the way he performs. He's like, no, I gotta go get my brother.
It reminded me of the first appearance of Daryl when he was pissed off that they didn't bring Merle back from Atlanta.
Yeah, there's something about Merle that takes him to that Arrested Development place of him. And Rick is the one who has to be like, I need you. You can't do that because I need you as part of this team. I value you. And it's like the healthier choice. But it was, I like Daryl a lot, but I don't always credit Norman Reedus with like amazing layered character acting. I'm like, he does Daryl very well.
Mm-hmm.
But this episode, I liked that. I liked that shift in him and this panic of like, but my brother is here, which is very believable that you would
innocence.
have that. Yeah.
There's like an
And just
innocence to his eyes.
100%. And Rick recognizing that and being like, not right now, we can't do that right now.
You should have slapped him.
Yeah, no, just slapped him like, your brother's a dick. Like, oh, okay. And then of course they get over the wall after a shootout that Andrea's in. There's so many moments of like missed connection and like, are they going to see one another? Surely Merle must have realized that it might be Daryl that's on the other side. Like, it surprised me that we don't see Merle like not shooting or trying to find his brother, like, because he must have realized with Glenn and Maggie, if someone's come to get them, that Daryl might be with them. But I don't know. Maybe Merle doesn't think that deeply about it.
Has he not asked them? Did he not ask them?
He did. I think he knows Daryl's alive, but I don't think. Yeah, it's weird to me that he didn't think, oh my god, maybe it's my brother that's come to get them. And yeah, then it all goes to shit. Daryl disappears. We kind of assume that he's gone to look for Merle, but then we have the reveal at the fighting arena at the end with kind of evil governor gets unveiled, talking about terrorism, planning the blame on Merle. You let him here and you let him in. Then all of a sudden Daryl's here. Andrea's like, what the fuck? Daryl sees Andrea and is like, what the fuck? And it's all just a bit of a chaotic night in Woodbury. And a lot happens, and I feel like I've barely touched on any of it. But yeah, it all stuck out to me as being particularly interesting, those moments.
I mean, you got to think that the governor would realize that Andrea's not going to like this, because he knows that Daryl is probably Andrea's friend and that Merle was Andrea's friend.
So much of the governor, though, and I thought this earlier and I didn't sort of interject, is like, the governor is all about control. It's about controlling other people, his responses to things, controlling Andrea, preventing her from making her own decisions, controlling Merle. Even that scene where we see his daughter, who, by the way, the kid actor that plays that zombie is amazing. Like, I was like, I wonder who that was, because she was fantastic. But he wants to control her responses to him. He wants to be able to control it so that she's focusing on him, and he can't. And that's when he loses it and gets angry. And the way he tries to seize control of the narrative at the end, particularly interesting, given that a lot of politics all over the world right now is about seizing control of narratives and pointing the blame at
it always is
one side or the other. Yeah, but it just seems particularly pointed in this particular scene.
You definitely see him trying to control the story, for sure.
Yeah.
And I mean, I think that's what leaders try to do. Frame a situation in a way to get everyone to do what they want them to do, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You just have to have somebody that has good ideas.
Good heart, that has their interests at heart.
Did you know that this was the first time that Merle and Daryl had a scene together?
Yeah, except
oh my goodness,
hallucinatory Merle.
Yeah.
But real Merle and Daryl, yeah.
Yeah, this is their first like face-to-face scene together since ever.
Yeah, we've never seen them.
It's
in
hard
real
to,
life.
it's weird to think about, because a lot of Daryl has been his thoughts and worries about his brother. And now this season, Merle's been worried about Daryl. And the first scene that they actually have together is in this fighting arena.
It's wild.
Yeah.
I like what happens with the fight, though. I really like what happens with the fight. I'm looking forward.
It's so fun.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to watching it.
Yeah, I don't want to know, because I want to be unspoiled, since I have a bad memory, and that's one of the benefits.
Yeah. They kiss. They don't kiss.
Yeah.
They start making out, and the governor's
Daryl
like,
dies.
fine, you can go.
Yeah, Daryl dies. Merle becomes the governor. It's all a thing.
Merle's the governor? Yeah. Yeah, I am, bitch.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I am now.
Anything else? Should we go into notes?
Don't think so. Yeah, I'm good.
I'll talk a little bit more about, first Sasha, Sonequa Martin Green in panels. I think I did 2 or 3 with her. She was just very kind, attentive, present. One of those people, when you're talking to them, they give you their full attention. And I'm like, I like you, you know. And I remember when she got Star Trek, we were like, oh, I couldn't be happier for her because she's just such a cool person. I did an interview with her. She was super nice in that too. It's episode 171, link in the show notes. I think it was towards the end of season 5. I was thinking about, her husband is Kenrick Green, who's also a really nice guy. He comes in later as Alexandrian Scott. And for the most part, I remember he was just kind of one of the guys that was not like totally in the background, but not in the foreground. He was kind of in the middle, background middle. And I thought he would probably die. He would be zombie fodder. But then they did more scenes with him, and I'm like, he's good. They should bring him up. I presume eventually he's going to come to the fore and be more of a main character. And they kind of did, but not really. But he survived the whole thing as far as we know. He was in season 6 all the way to season 10, and then mentioned Scott's somewhere in season 11. So
I think he made it.
Yeah, I think he made it, which is cool. And let's say he made it. Yeah. But anyway, and then the other one is Alan, who's their friend, I guess. And he's Daniel Thomas May, also super nice guy. He ended up doing the Walker Stalker podcast with James for a while, I think. So they got to be buddies. Yeah. But,
that's fun.
He was a nice guy. So I guess that's all I had to say about the new ones.
Amazing. R.I.P. Donna.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's dead.
The whole time I'm like, just cut her arm off.
Yeah.
She'll be fine.
What the hell?
I have my IMDb dive in my timeline. So timeline's not that exciting. Last episode was day 303, and this is day 303 into day 304. In terms of IMDb dive, a lot of it we've covered. First appearance of Tyrese and Sasha. First episode where the Dixon brothers actually appear together in a scene. David Morrissey looking at a picture of his wife and Penny. The wife is actually Denise Huth. Something about them. I love when there's like a random fact.
I think.
Yeah, a random fact in an episode where you're like, why is this in this one? So makeup artist Donna M. Premick uses liquid dirt combined with dry dirt to keep the actors looking grimy. The actors call it sexy dirt. Citation needed. This interested me. This is the last episode to be rated TV-14. All episodes after are rated TV-MA.
I saw that too. I'm surprised that they didn't change it to TV-MA in the previous episode.
Right? I was thinking about what happens to the eye and the arm and the... and this episode shares the same title as the 8th volume of the comic series. However, what happens in that volume is shown in the season 4 mid-season finale. So that's the culmination of the Governor arc, with the assassinations outside the gate. So interesting that this was the title, because this storyline does go on for another full season. So, another to the next mid-season finale. Okay, so like a full season, 2 half seasons. Yeah. Yeah, so that was the IMDb and the timeline.
Did you get a little skeezed out? This was the one thing that I had. Did you get a little skeezed out when Tyrese was about to use his hammer on Donna, like right in their front porch area?
Yes.
Yeah. Like,
can we take the hammer shot somewhere else, please?
Right. And then Carl uses that moment to just sneaky lock the door, like.
He's like, gotcha.
I liked, and then Beth said, "We need to help him," and Carl said, "I did."
He did.
That was pretty cool.
That was a very Rick Grimes line. I feel like.
Yeah, I mean, locking them in there too was a very Rick Grimes move. Rick would have done that. He'd been like, "You gotta stay there just till we know you a little bit better."
Yeah.
We fight to the fence.
He did that with Michonne.
We fight to the fence.
Fight to the fence.
Do it, Dad.
Stuff and things.
My only note I had is that this episode was written by Robert Kirkman.
Was it? Huh. It's quite a good
The man himself. Yeah. He wrote good ones.
IMDb gave it an 8.9. Pretty high. Ooh. Pretty high on the episode scale.
Any other notes or anything? Nope. Only on The Walking Dead would getting your eye gouged out be like only the 3rd or 4th worst thing that happened to you that day.
Only on The Walking Dead would your boyfriend's zombie TV not be the biggest red flag about him.
Zombie head aquarium.
I knew I would have to do this, and I've been thinking about this all day, and I couldn't do it. But I was thinking, only on The Walking Dead do you come face to face with your best friend and pull a gun on her after being with your boyfriend after 5 minutes.
Yeah.
But I honest to God, that's the best
that.
I came up with because I suck at this game.
That's good.
Oh, not at all.
I like what you guys said, though.
It's good.
Only on The Walking Dead does John Bernthal show up to a gunfight.
Yes.
Ghost John Bernthal.
Yeah. Ghost Johnny Bernthal.
Obvious threat to untold numbers of citizens.
The people it kills get up and kill.
Are they slow-moving, Chief?
Yeah, they're dead. They're all messed up.
This is a Walking Dead Cast news update.
I just want to mention, I'm putting this in the news because I really want people to hear it that have pledged via Patreon, and thank you so much, everybody. And that is that Apple's about to start charging 30% more for Patreon subscriptions that are initiated through the iPhone app, the Patreon app. I have read this won't affect existing Patreon pledgers, even if you subscribe through the app. So hopefully that's true. But if you've been thinking about pledging, use the website, patreon.com/Jason Kabassi. That's a plug, I admit, but also I do want you to know if you're going to do it through the website and not the app, because then you'll be charged less. And and I also, like, in addition to the plug of supporting via Patreon, I want you to know that if it wasn't for people who supporting through Patreon, I don't think I would still be podcasting. Definitely wouldn't be doing the whole Podcastica thing. So thank you so much to everybody who's been doing that. But I want to say, honestly, right, there's other ways to support us. If you don't feel like doing that, just give us a rating or a review on any podcast platform. That's great. But really, if you do nothing else right now, if you're in the US, the one thing we really want I want everyone hearing my voice to do this year, just like we asked in 2020, is to vote in the upcoming election. If any of you guys vote and you write in and tell me, I wasn't sure I was going to bother, but you asked, and so I voted, I'll just be thrilled by that. Or if you already were anyway and just want to tell me, that's great. But please vote. We need everyone to vote.
Yeah.
Go register to vote.
Yeah, and I'll put a link in the show notes of where people can register to vote. I need to go look that up. But if you aren't sure if you're registered, I'll put a link in where you can go and check. And then if you're not, then you can register.
And you can check your registration too, because there's a lot of registration dumps that are rumored to be happening, but definitely is something to look at your registration status.
Make sure. Yeah. So next, Max, the whole Max streaming service put out this 2-minute teaser video with bits from upcoming new and returning HBO original series. It was almost like too quick, like, oh, I'm excited. Oh, there's another. Oh, cool. It's just flashes. There's bits from The Penguin with Colin Farrell, Dune Prophecy. I think it's a prequel series. Industry with Kit Harington. Jon Snow. He has a part in that. There's Wise Guy, a 2-part Sopranos documentary. Creature Commandos is the James Gunn produced animated series in the new DC EU that he's putting together with his Superman movie coming out next year. Harley Quinn, great cartoon. And just like that, the Sex and the City sequel series, which I heard started out pretty bad, but maybe has gotten better. I don't know. I haven't watched it.
It's a great hate watch.
Okay. There's the historical drama, The Gilded Age, season 3. Merritt Weaver's going to be on that show now. She was Denise from
is she?
Walking Dead. It, Welcome to Derry. It's the Stephen King It series, and Bill Skarsgård is going to play Pennywise in that.
Sorry, that's really exciting.
yeah.
That's really
I'm
cool.
excited for that. But best of all, I saved the best for last, the ones that we're covering for sure. The White Lotus in Thailand, Walton Goggins, who played the ghoul in Fallout, is going to be in that. Carrie Coon from The Leftovers, Parker Posey. And I can't wait for that. And Jenny and Randy and I will be covering that on our Welcome to the White Lotus podcast, of course. Then there's A Night of the Seven Kingdoms, the upcoming Game of Thrones prequel series. Kristen, I was going to look what that was, but I'm like, hey, Kristen's on. Let me just ask her. What is that?
That's going to take place 100 years before Daenerys Targaryen. And it is the story of Sir Duncan the Tall and Aegon, his little person or whatever. So it's the tales
Squire,
of Dunk and Egg. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. One thing that I think is cool about that series is it'll be different than the other Game of Thrones series because it's more focused on just two characters, right?
Mm-hmm. I mean, I'm sure it won't be.
I'm sure there'll be a lot of characters, but I feel like they'll be like the center of it, which is something new. Usually it's more of there's no like main character. It looked cool, the preview, but what can you tell from 10 seconds? And then best of all, there was like a 30-second teaser of The Last of Us Season 2.
There was?
Mentioning this on this podcast, yes. And I only watched it once. I don't want to watch it again. It got me so excited to see the second season. And it seems like HBO considers that like their crown jewel because they saved it for last and it was longer than any of the other ones. Yeah.
They're doing the second game in 2 seasons, right?
At least
or
2.
3 seasons, yeah. Mm-hmm. That's all I read about it. I'm excited, just like you are. I'm cannot wait.
Can't wait.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
Yeah, I'll put a link to that teaser in the show notes in case you guys want to watch it. I'm sure I still consider us a Last of Us podcast as well as The Walking Dead. And I think many Last of Us podcasts and Walking Dead podcasts, they see these trailers, they dissect them. I think Talking Dead does that. I don't like doing that because I just don't want to wring all the pleasure out of it before it actually appears in the episode, you know?
Mm-hmm. That's what I feel about when you watch, and I know that you podcast on it, is Great British Bake Off. When they go previously on Great British Bake Off, and then they say, now coming up, and they give you the whole show.
Yeah, I don't want to see that.
And I'm just like, I'm here to watch this, not get a recap. Like, can we just wait for a moment?
Yeah, you want to experience it the way it was meant to be experienced. So next, this is about The Last of Us Season 2. IGN.com reports Caitlin Dever, who plays Abby in the upcoming second season of HBO's The Last of Us, had additional protection during filming due to the toxicity surrounding her character. Speaking on the Happy, Sad, Confused podcast, Dina actress Isabel Merced said the team at HBO believed there could be an increased risk due to the toxicity surrounding Abby. Some members of the Last of Us community have expressed hatred for the character and harassed and sent death threats to Laura Bailey, who played Abby in the video game. Quote, this is, what's her name? Dina actress Isabel Merced said, there's so many strange people in this world because there are people that actually genuinely hate Abby, who is not a real person. Just a reminder, not a real person. Caitlin had to be extra secured by security when it came to the filming of this. I just read that because it really bothers me when people equate actors with characters, and it reminds me of how Brighton Charbonneau, who played Lizzie, got death threats as an 11-year-old girl.
It's crazy. Josh McDermott left social media because of fans and how they felt about Eugene, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, when he became a savior. Traitor.
Well, wow. I don't want to say he deserved it, but I'll just think it.
Josh McDermott did not deserve any of that.
I'm right, exactly. I hope nobody thinks that I'm saying
No,
that.
I know. I'm just kidding. All right. Anyway, let's move on to listener moans, groans, and grunts. Okay.
Maria Granada says, I'm a couple of episodes behind, but I'm really enjoying the rewatch. I binged season 1 through 6 and started watching Walking Dead in season 7, episode by episode. So, I'm so sorry. So I had not listened to the original episodes. I started listening to them from season 3, and it's so fun to listen to your first reaction to these episodes. And fun to hear all the speculations, such as if Carol was going to be alive, or if Milton is putting poison in the tea. Also, listening to the comic book parts since I'm not concerned about spoilers.
I'm glad you're listening, Maria. It's good to hear from you too.
Oh, that's amazing. I've got Dina. Hi, Dina. Hi, Jason, Lucy, and Kristen. Regarding my Merle-centric letter from last week, you are both totally correct that he is in awe of the governor, and he for sure loves his own position of power. But I was wrong about Merle's developing mistrust of the man. I swear that I saw, damn you, Rooker, wary expressions on Merle's face every time he spoke with the governor, as if he wasn't 100% buying the governor's bullshit. Watching this week's episode, however, I must revoke my comments about said mistrust. Now I see that Merle believes, or wants to believe, the governor's promise to bring Daryl into the fold, because he was genuinely shocked when the governor turned on him. Dumbass Merle and dumbass me. No, Dina, you're not dumbass. But hey, did you see Daryl? He was all slick with sweat and his shirt was torn just enough that we saw some skin. Hout.
I think Merle knows the governor pretty well and knows that if he toes the line, that the governor won't turn on him, or, well, yeah, maybe there's no guarantee that he won't, but I just think, so Merle believes the governor will let Daryl into the group if Daryl becomes their inside man and helps them take over the prisoner. That's what the governor suggested, right? And I think he would have. It's transactional with the governor. If you are loyal to me, then yeah, you can have a place here. Merle thinks he can manipulate Daryl because he's always been dominant over Daryl, but I think Merle knows that if Daryl doesn't cooperate, that the governor would kill him.
I think the governor, though, yeah, if Daryl survives, he would do that, but the governor's got no interest in ensuring that he does or doesn't.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. But I just think if it would have played out the way the governor wanted, where Merle had convinced Daryl to be the inside man and help them invade the prison and kill everyone else, that there's a pretty good chance that the governor would have been like, all right, you can be one of my men now. Maybe. I don't know.
Merle didn't kill Michonne.
That's the thing. Yeah. Merle didn't know that Michonne and the governor just fought. I don't think Merle saw Michonne there, right? So that's why it was a surprise to Merle that the governor turned on him, because he didn't realize that he'd been found out as having lied about killing Michonne.
You don't think that when he looked at Merle, when he said I was attacked, that Merle didn't think that, oh shit, was that Michonne?
Yeah.
He should have. But
you know what I
mean?
mean?
As Lucy pointed out, maybe he's not too bright.
Yeah, no, it's all that blue meth.
Yeah.
That's right.
Merle's like, I was just really high.
I was really high. I can't. Sorry.
Yeah, I'm sorry, bud. I'm sorry.
Robin Mark says, this is a fantastic episode, and in a lot of ways it feels like it really sets the series of events that leads to the downfall of the prison. Absolutely. The fish tanks are just as gross every time I rewatch, and Michonne shoving that glass shard into the governor's eyeball is vile, but so deserved. I don't think he would have let the group's existence go anyway, but this and his hatred of Michonne in particular made it beyond certain he'd keep looking for them. Lots of other interesting things, but I'm at work right now and I want to talk about Tyrese and Sasha, both characters who I love, even knowing they will break my heart eventually. There are two particular deaths in the show that still ache even after rewatching the whole series 5 times over. Tyrese is one of them. No one could have done it like Chad L. Coleman. He brings an element of empathy and humanity to the group that's different from what the rest offer. That's what you're saying, Lucy. And he keeps that despite what happens at the prison and after. He's emotional, but I wouldn't consider him rash. I can't add more because work is busy, but yay, it's all getting going.
Oh, Robin.
Thanks, Robin. All right, here's Steve Brown.
Hello, the cast of us. This is Steve, and this is for The Walking Dead episode season 3, Made to Suffer. Right. Okay. So right away we start with a woman screaming, and who is that? Oh, and Sasha. I guess I totally forgot that we were introduced to Sasha this early in the series. Oh, and they are on the other side of the prison, right? That they're about to walk into. There's this Woodbury, I don't know, the brick walls, maybe it's not the prison. Oh, and Andrea finds the picture of the governor and his wife before her, and how much they look alike, even the hairstyle. Yeah, she's not your daughter anymore. She's a zombie, Governor. Sorry. Oh, Glenn, why are you ripping this guy's arm off? To use it as a weapon or something? Oh, so the governor says he doesn't want to take the prison. He wants to just remove them and let the biters take the prison back over, but leave Woodbury the way it is. Ooh, Governor, I didn't think... Merle doesn't look... He's completely on board with taking Glenn and Maggie straight to the screamer pits, is what he called them. Okay, dude creeping on Beth a little bit too much. Oh, 17. Interesting. Yeah, no, Carol's not liking that for sure. Okay, you're not a lesbian because you got short hair? What an idiot. She's not a lesbian, but she's not interested in you. Oh, and Glenn and Maggie breaking out. A short-lived escape, but Rick and his buddies are coming. Well, now they got the flashbangs, the smoke, but Daryl's going to see Merle at some point. He's got to, right? Ooh, Michonne broke off on her own, but that's okay. They got Glenn and Maggie now, and they just need to get out. Oh, and Glenn taking the blame. He said he's putting him and Maggie together. Maggie's not the one that broke. They both broke. He says, we told him where the prison is. And the governor's trying to keep Andrea from figuring out that these are her people. They just attacked them. So he's sending her to do this errand of checking on people in their homes. Oh, and Rick just sees a vision of what somebody looks like Shane. But of course, it wasn't Shane because Shane is dead. Oh, Carl going to investigate, and he finds them fighting off walkers. He finds Sasha and them, and he says, come on. Oh, and Michonne discovers the governor's secret aquariums, and she's about to see Penny, and I'm sorry I'm going long. Well, she doesn't realize Penny's a walker because she's got the bag over her head. Oh, katana through the head of Penny, and now Michonne's fighting with the governor. Oh, when she got him in the eye with that piece of glass. Ooh, and in the aftermath, Andrea sees what the governor had hidden. Heck, he's giving you food and water. Yeah, you're locked in, you're secure. It's not the best situation, but at least Sasha and Tyrese, you're good for the moment. Tyrese just said his house. Oh, so Rick, Maggie, Glenn made it out. Michonne's out, but no Daryl yet. Oh, now the governor's going to try to do a little damage control. What? He's throwing Merle to the wolves? Oh, Merle didn't... Oh, I forgot this, and they caught Daryl. Ooh, and now I'm going to wait till I listen to the podcast before I watch the next episode, because I don't remember what happens.
That's some willpower, man. Appreciate it.
Steve's amazing.
I love him.
He said a couple things that he noticed. Glenn said, we gave up the information about where the prison was. He didn't say Maggie. And I'm thinking, on one hand, yeah, that's really nice of Glenn not to throw Maggie under the bus. I mean, it is. But can you imagine if he would have said that? Oh, Maggie told him where the prison is. Maggie's like, dick.
Fucking Maggie. Sorry, Rick, they know someone can keep it a secret.
Sorry, there's no excuse for her.
And then he said, Andrea saw the picture of the governor with his wife and Penny, and she had the same hairstyle. And that's just why I think that he was grooming Andrea to be a replacement mom for Penny. But now I don't think we'll ever know because Penny's gone, and it'll be interesting to
about
see.
To be.
Yeah, Andrea's about to be. All right, let's move on.
I have a really random question before you move on. I'm sorry. You had somebody on the original Walking Dead cast who, and this quote lives in my brain, is when she said machete to the face. And we get
Who
that.
was it?
We get that this episode. We get a machete to the face in this episode. And I'm wondering if it came from this episode, but it couldn't have, right? Do you know what I'm talking about?
Well, is there a machete in this episode?
Isn't that what the kid in Tyrese's group uses to like chop a zombie in half in the head?
Yeah.
I thought maybe machete to the face came from when Rick has his red-handled machete.
Okay.
But I'm not sure. I'll have to ask Cindy because
Who
she's
said
the one who
it?
said it. Cindy from Walker Stalker.
Oh, amazing.
That
Yeah.
quote lives
Iconic.
in my head. I say it out loud like once a week. I'm not kidding. It's
Yep.
really weird.
That's
It's
funny.
so good.
Yeah,
It
it's,
should be a ringtone.
I can totally hear her saying it. I wish I had the soundbite. I'd totally be playing it right
I'm
now.
going
but
to change
I'll
my
ask-
text tone to when you text me, Jason. It's going to say machete to the face.
Shade to the face.
Shade
Oh,
to
that's
the
Jason. Yeah, I'll ask her. Make a note.
Josie, I'm so sorry, Josie. I'm just going to say the middle name, Josie Bowen Etchel. This episode really fires things up. Yes, it does. Watching Michonne realize there is a little girl chained up gave me all the anxiety and goosebumps, especially when she finally realizes Penny is a walker. Every scene with Denai Guerrero establishes and makes it so clear that she is a phenomenal actress. Her eyes convey so much. Having read the comics just a few months ago has made me look at all the scenes with new eyes as well, as there are so many differences and reasons behind those changes. I'm glad we don't have to watch all of the trauma Michonne went through in the comics. It was really horrific. I did find myself getting slightly irritated at Michonne in this episode and several after because she's not communicating effectively with Rick and the gang. She disappears and they just immediately assume the worst because she didn't communicate beforehand. Obviously, this all works out in the end though, and we all grow to love that fire we see between her and Rick. I agree that after watching the last episode with the knowledge that they end up together, it does seem that there were threads of their future interwoven from the beginning. I think it's one of those things that just plays out because writers notice chemistry and fans start to be on board. This is what happened with Monica and Chandler of Friends, as Lucy mentioned last episode. Mondler! I think the writers finally likely started thinking of alternatives when they realized fans weren't loving Andrea in season 2.
Yeah, maybe.
Thank God for Denai and Andy's chemistry. Other notes. Yay, Tyrese is here. I love that big softie. Lovely little Carl, always seeing the good in people. He does such a good job. Scenes with Daryl and Merle together always make me want to just give Daryl a big hug. I love watching his journey with Merle play out. Having Merle eventually off his back and out of his life to influence him / boss him around was truly one of the best things to happen to Daryl. That's when he's finally able to discover who he is, and as Carol tells him in season 2, when he's able to accept that he's just as good of a man as Rick. Thanks for all your work, Jason and Lucy. You're awesome.
Oh,
Thanks, Josie.
Josie. Love you.
That's nice.
Great message.
Our friend Jennifer McGinley says, I love this episode, but let me go back to the previous one for a wee second. It pissed me off so much that they stuck a scarf on Carol's head merely for Daryl to find later. How far ahead do they write? I wish they'd have given Carol a headscarf before that. It really cheapens the show, and Walking Dead is way better than that. Okay, this one. That thumping music throughout, I hope you know what I mean, gets right into my belly and reverberates through my entire body. It's so exciting. Not the only time it's used to this effect, but I believe it's the first. Great seeing Tyrese and Sasha. Carl really steps up here and does a grand job of keeping our group safe, but also helping other humans. Smart kid, no wonder Tyrese called him the man. I don't remember why he pissed me off so much during my first watch. Apart from when he killed Dale, I've been enjoying the character a lot. And like son, like father, Rick kills Oscar now. What a douche. Poor Oscar. Can't help but wonder how long it'd actually take to get back on your feet and be a fully functional town leader after having your eye stabbed out by a shard of glass. I'm pretty sure it'd be a bit longer than the 20 to 30 minutes intimated here. I'm so excited to watch episode 9, which is chock full of thrilling, thumpy sounds I love. Back then I was watching Walking Dead on one of those websites that may or may not be legal, and it'd be uploaded as soon as it aired in the US. I set my alarm for 5:30am to watch the episode before getting the rest of the house up and ready for school and work. I never got a decent night's sleep during the mid-season hiatus after seeing Made to Suffer, and wasn't prepared to wait any longer. Fancy doing that. What age was I? 44 or so, and behaving like a teenager. Then again, that's why I love this show so much. It reignited a passion for pop culture that had been sparked out for decades, got right under my skin. I lived and breathed Walking Dead. and scoured the internet for related topics and gossip. When I found the podcast, Talking Dead and Yourselves, I was elated. My people, they are like me. It really was the best of times. I had great fun at the listener meetup. It was fabulous to meet Jason, Lucy, and my fellow listeners. Oh, thank you so much for doing that. Very much appreciated. Love you lots. Oh, thanks, Jennifer. It was lovely to meet you too.
I'm so
Was she in
because
Scotland?
Jennifer almost,
She lives in Glasgow.
did her daughter have a baby and she almost wasn't going to make it, but
there was a
she
little ass
managed to-
kicker.
Yeah,
Yay!
it's really good to meet you.
Yay! So cute. So
Jennifer,
cute.
the best. When you said, I gotta admit, that thumping music throughout, I hope you know what I mean, gets right into my belly. I couldn't help but picture Mike Myers and Austin Powers saying, "Get in my belly."
Oh, every time. Yeah. Every time.
All right, here's a call from Archmaester Rennie.
So I just want to say Tyrese and Sasha, but mainly Tyrese. I was really happy and energized when I saw the two of them come on the scene in this episode. Tyrese was one of my favorite characters in the early seasons of the show. At this point, I had not yet started reading the comics, but when I did read the comics, I liked his storyline in the comics even better than in the show.
Yeah.
He comes in much earlier, before they are on Herschel's farm even, and because Daryl doesn't exist in the comics, Tyrese was one of Rick's top lieutenants, and he didn't have a sister in the comic, he had a daughter instead. But I liked the invention of the character Sasha for the show. And I really liked Chad Coleman's performance as Tyrese, even better than I liked him later in one of my favorite shows ever, The Expanse, where he plays a very complicated character and does a great job of it. But I loved him as Tyrese. And of course, I love Sonequa Martin Green as Sasha, and then later as Captain Michael Burnham in Star Trek Discovery, the final season of which was finally the show I thought they were promising me in the early trailers and did not give me for the first 4 seasons. Anyway, that's a different story. So I am just really happy to see them, happy to have them on board, and that was all I had to say.
Sweet.
Yay.
Thanks, Rennie. It's so good to hear her voice. It's so good to hear your voice, Rennie. All the time.
Rennie and I did an episode of the Zedhead Show, which is the Patreon podcast I do more or less every month, and it was about our favorite characters. And I remember she had a character from The Expanse, and I think she said Michael Burnham too.
Was it Amos
a
from
good
The
one.
Expanse? Was it Amos?
I don't know that show, so I don't. But there was a lot of sci-fi. I remember.
The Expanse is
sci-fi.
amazing. Amazing
Yeah.
book series,
I've heard that a
amazing
lot.
TV series. Amazon should do all the science fiction ever.
You know, so did you ever play the Walking Dead Telltale game?
I have played
Oh.
2.5 seasons.
It's very good.
It's
and
very
Telltale put out an Expanse game recently, at least a chapter of it, and it looks pretty cool. I don't know
Oh,
if,
cool. The season
look
3
into that.
graphics changed and it was unplayable on my computer, so I got to figure
The
out.
last, the way it season 3, I felt like was a bit of a dip, but then they ended it really well, and it was all still pretty good.
Oh, that's a bummer.
All right, here's Rachel Teal Edwards, who says, Sasha and Tyrese, yes, I know there's a bunch of great action in this episode, but seeing these two for the first time was the highlight for me. Of course, I immediately think of the devastating and beautifully abstract death of Tyrese. Yeah, I was thinking about that too, and what that does to Sasha, but I'll refocus my thoughts on the present. They're such strong characters individually, and I love their dynamic as brother and sister. Sasha immediately demonstrates that she's tough and does what needs to be done to survive, and Tyrese shows his soft, empathetic side while still being a badass. They're two of my favorite characters, but I still didn't realize how happy I'd be to see them. Same with me. I forgot that they came in this episode, so I wasn't really anticipating it, but when I did see them, I was just like, oh boy, look, it's those two. I have to play a bullshit card here, though. You're telling me Rick walked around the perimeter of the prison yard 3 times on their first night and then never got a group together to walk around the perimeter of the prison itself? I find that extraordinarily hard to believe. Has there just not been enough time? Feel free to justify this for me. I don't know. It feels weird that there's this opening in the back of the prison. I agree. I know we've only been there a couple of weeks and Rick has been insane for a bit, but I just don't buy it. Let's also talk about how season 3 is full of badass women already, especially compared to seasons 1 and 2. First, Michonne, who absolutely kicks the governor's ass in this episode. My gosh, what a scene. Now Sasha coming in hot, and even Maggie steps up and kills the guy. As many times as I've seen this, that scene surprises me. Damn girl, broken bone to the neck. It's like machete to the face.
Machete to the face. That's what I thought.
Broken bone to the neck. Plus Beth and Carol back at the prison who have yet to fully blossom, but are well on their way. It's refreshing and a relief to enjoy the female characters. I agree. I think that's one of the great things about this show. Jason, I still don't think the governor wants to marry Andrea because he cares for her at all. I don't either. I never thought that, but I just think he needs a replacement mom for Penny. But after this episode, I can totally see that he's delusional enough to want her as a replacement mom for Penny. I think his interest in her is more about him being mentally unstable than wanting a nice, strong lady for himself. Yeah, absolutely. Although I do think there's that Jim Jones thing where he just wants to sleep with everybody to show that he has control. Possibly. And so begins Andrea's pattern of ignoring giant waving red flags. Let's take a tally. 1, you look just like his deceased wife. 2, he clearly doesn't value your skill set. Well, he wants her not to see that her friends are the ones he's trying to kill, but still it's a red flag that he's trying to keep her off the battlefield. 3, he keeps Walker heads in tanks. 4, he was keeping his Walker daughter, quote, alive. 5, Michonne hates him so much she came back to kill him. And 6, he makes Daryl and Merle fight to the death. Come on, girl. There's your sign. I mean, I think at this point she probably does change her feelings about him, I hope. But if she doesn't, then yeah.
She has that look on her face like, I hitched my horse to the wrong wagon. Shit.
Yeah. Whoops.
Yeah.
Side note, since when does she have, quote, some authority in the eyes of the Woodbury residents? She's been there a week. Maybe whoever is boning the governor automatically gets first lady status. I enjoyed seeing both.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah. I enjoyed seeing both sides of the Daryl/Merle plot line as the two groups converge. And I'm noticing this time around what a big part their story plays in the overall plot. Merle trying to get assurance from the governor that nothing will happen to Daryl. Merle can't possibly believe him. And Daryl having to put aside his instinct to immediately find Merle in order to help his new family instead. My heart goes out to him. This is probably the first time he's chosen to deny his brother, and obviously it wasn't easy for him. Do we think he stayed behind on purpose once he was sure the rest of the group was out, or did they capture him and the governor just got lucky as always? That's a good question.
Could be a combination
he did
of
stay
both.
behind. Yeah, like he did try so hard to get away. Quick note, Michonne has obviously decided that she wants to stay with our group, as evidenced by the fear and desperation she expresses when they threaten to ditch her. We don't often see a vulnerable side of Michonne, and here it was brief but visceral. Lucy mentioned that. I agree. Final thought. Carol's keeping watch in the guard tower with Axel. Are they doing stuff? Is the guard tower the designated hookup spot? Yes. No, I don't think yet. I don't think Carol likes him yet.
To go back to the bullshit card, because I did think that was a really big bullshit card. I actually agree with that big time, because that's very not Rick to do. But there's to me, that's just like in season 4 when the prison falls and all of a sudden there's no plan. There's no rally point. Like, they were all there for the fall of the farm. How is it that we don't have a rally point and we have to spend 8 fucking episodes looking for each other, you know? So that's my big bullshit card for the prison, but I can totally see the Rick perimeter thing too, but
yeah, and that's why we have Department of Suspension of Disbelief, because these things come up and they suspend our disbelief, but they're there because it's more dramatic for them to have to keep looking for each other versus what they would clearly and obviously do, which is to have a rendezvous point to go straight to. Yeah. Just go back to the Sophia car if you're ever in doubt. That's what I would say.
Or the dumpster. There is the dumpster.
There's always a dumpster.
Yeah. Okay. Michaela Williams. Greetings. Long-time listener, first-time writer. Inner.
Writer inner. Love it.
I like that. Yeah. After some debate on how Merle reacted to the governor's treatment of Maggie, I had to rewatch the episode. To me, at the end of that scene, he looks rather shocked and for once lost for words. You'd think after Merle and Glenn's scenes earlier in the episode, he would have exited that last scene with a smirk on his face. Like, see, I told your ass and you don't want to F with us. Please, Lucy, read that with your... Okay, you have to...
I think it was good. Kristen was pretty good.
I think you did it very much justice.
Attempt of a Georgia accent. But almost from the moment Maggie's brought into the room, he displays degrees of surprise, topping out at the end when he backs out of the room looking on while Glenn comforts her. Oh my gosh, I'm getting old. I think I need glasses. I want to think that there is a flavor of apology or at least sympathy. I find myself having more and more patience for Merle and Negan. Currently in season 9, I couldn't wait. My first rewatch, except for this season 3 episode. I fell in and out of love with the show many times over the run and stopped watching completely when my first child was born. But the worst part was not listening to you. At some point in 2022, a convo with a colleague reminded me of how much I enjoyed your podcast. She and I would listen to the cast on long road trips.
Aww.
After, I would give her the play-by-play of the actual episode. Lots of long trips. This was the only way she consumed The Walking Dead, and she loved it. And I loved being able to appreciate the show through her. That's crazy. So I picked back up and started binging, but with a second young child, finished about a year after the final season aired. And I slowly caught up on your original recaps just in time for you to start the rewatch. Now I wait like a hamster for a pellet for your next episode drop. Thank you for all the work you do, the amazing guests, guest hosts, you're welcome, conversation, and willingness to address hard topics and embrace the existence of differing views. All my love and appreciation. Michaela, transplant to Pittsburgh. Part of what sold me was the Monroeville Mall.
That's cool.
I have no idea what I just read.
The Monroeville Mall is where the Dawn of the Dead was filmed. George Mero's Dawn of the Dead. And I think that's right. And Michaela, I wonder, is it still open? And do you go there and shuffle around? I'd love it if the answer to that is yes to both.
Can you imagine consuming The Walking Dead through just a podcast and your friends play-by-play?
Yes, I think that's a superior experience.
I think that's amazing. Like,
I'm just kidding.
No, but I'm saying, like, she probably had her own picture of what everything looked like and who the actors were and what they all looked like in her head.
It's a whole different thing. Like,
Totally
I know
cool.
when we were doing Fear the Walking Dead roundtable rants where we would just complain about the episode for 20 minutes, there were people who were listening to all those that dropped out of the show a long time ago, and I kind of loved that. But yeah, I think with The Walking Dead, you should probably watch it. But I'm flattered, though. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's so cool.
All right. We have a call from Renee. Woo-hoo.
Renee.
Guys, this is Renee calling in about The Walking Dead. First off, I want to say welcome back, Lucy. Girl, I miss you. I'm so happy to hear your voice. I'm so happy that you're back. But and also, Lucy, I wanted to say to you, let me see if I can say it as eloquently as you did. The way that you articulated how a black person could feel pertaining to Michonne having those two men in handcuffs. I mean, you articulated it in a way I never could. I could never. And just the empathy in your voice, it basically had me in tears. Now, I don't even know why I said basically. It had me really feeling some type of way because you can empathize with a black person. And I think that's the problem with the world. We have sympathy and compassion, but a lot of us don't have empathy. We're not able to put ourselves in the other person's situation to try to understand. So again, just thank you so much for how you articulated that. And like you said, we cannot be dismissive because, I'm a black woman, but black men, they have it much harder. So, to see that two black men in chains like that, like I said last week, I can see how that bothered a lot of people. So I just wanted to tell you thank you, and Jason as well, because Jason, like, listen, if you don't like how we handle this podcast and how we deal with real life issues, deuces. I love that. But to this episode here, it's like, Merle, your racist ass. I cannot wait until you get it. I cannot wait till his ass get killed. And Sasha and Tyrese, man, I love me some Tyrese. I actually did love Sasha until she backdoored Rosita. You know, I don't like that. I believe in loyalty. So Sasha, I don't F for her at all. She ain't loyal either. I don't F for Sasha. But overall, the episode, of course, was good because this when they really got down to business. You know, they did not play. You could tell that they worked together in sync, and you could tell that Michonne was impressed by them and how they worked together. And the chemistry between Rick and Michonne, man, I saw it the first time. Very first time I watched The Walking Dead, I was like, man, I want them two to get together really, 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 really bad. I really do. And even Daryl, the chemistry between Daryl and Rick is awesome. It really is. And I feel like the apocalypse saved Daryl from becoming a racist piece of shit just like Merle. It really did. Yeah. And Carl is so cute. I'm with you, Lucy. He need a hug. That baby needs a hug. He really does. He needs a hug. Oh, and Alex telling Carol that she's a lesbian. And he might not. Isn't this interesting? Interesting. Carol says, really not. Like, sir, get away from me. Sir, go on about your business. All righty. Talk to you guys later. Bye. Peace and love.
That's sweet.
Aw, I'm quite emotional.
Yeah.
Thanks, Renee. It means a lot.
Yeah, that was really nice of you.
That was really nice of you. Thank you. We have one last message.
Oh, wait.
Jennifer McGinley.
I'm sorry. I just want to say another thing. She mentioned a lot of ways that the characters have chemistry. Rick and Michonne, Daryl and Rick. And I think maybe one of the reasons why there's so much chemistry on this show is because the way that Andrew Lincoln set the tone on the set for everyone to show mutual respect and care and to be there during scenes that they're not even in, just to give somebody something to react to, and all of that just made it such a great place to work, and everybody sort of soaked up that vibe, and you know, so then it can come across on the screen. I think the family feel of it.
I 100% agree with that.
That's a really good point. Where's my all right, one last message about last week's episode from Jennifer McGinley, who says, watched this one last night. As it's a rewatch, things run through your mind that didn't at the time, such as why didn't they prepare for the baby by gathering formula, bobos, dumdos, nappies, or diapers, Moses' basket, and some other basics. I guess Laurie was planning to breastfeed, but they should have been prepared for all eventualities. All the prep involved learning how to do C-sections and zero for the aftercare. I'm rewatching along with my cyber friend who's a first timer. When Glenn and Maggie go to the shop, I told them to make note of the fact that Maggie isn't wearing a bra. The internet was good fun during the bra on, bra off days. Been reading some reviews of each episode which were published at the time, many of whom are like, Walking Dead is so pushing this Carol Daryl ship. Why don't they just get on it already? We all know they're gonna. LOL. Maybe they still will. I remember I used to read reviews from a website I can't recall now, and they refer to Daryl as Honey Badger and Andrea as NLR, not Leanne Rimes. This resulted in me and a different cyber friend referring to Daryl as HB thereafter during our many chats about the show. Hated the scenes with Mr. Coleman more this time around. So pointless, and Milton's total incompetence seems at odds with his intellect. Best bit about this one? Remember the Alamo. Pissing myself laughing. Mr. Coleman, the old guy, not Chad Coleman. I was like, oh my God. And I was like, oh no, yeah, the old dude. Yep, on it. With you, Jennifer, with you.
All right, that is our show, episode 594. Thanks so much for listening, everybody. Thank you, Kristen. It was a delight to have you.
It was so good.
Thank
come
you.
Back again.
I want to come back again. Please have me again.
Yeah, come back in season 4.
Yes, I will.
Okay. Next episode, Walking Dead season 3, episode 9, The Suicide King. And I feel like I remember being kind of disappointed with the back half of this season, so we'll see if that holds or not.
Is Gimple head showrunner yet, or is that?
He stepped in at the end of the finale. I think Mazzara was fired like during the creation of the final episode of season 3, and
because
Gimple directed Andrea's death episode or something like that.
Okay,
I mean,
thank you.
Scene. Yeah,
that sounds right.
Then he's here for 5 on.
Yeah, that would make sense. If you want to write in or leave us a voice message about it, you can find all our contact information at podcastica.com.
Yeah, actually go there. I say that a lot, and then people are like,
actually do.
How do I find such and such? Well, go to the website that I keep mentioning. And while you're there, you can check out our other podcasts, like the Revisited podcast. Yay. Kristen, you want to tell us about that one?
Yeah, so we are doing, Ben and I do the Revisited podcast. We started with Lost. We are finishing Ted Lasso right now. We record the finale on Monday. And then we are moving into The Good Place after that. So,
have you guys seen that show, The Good Place?
Yeah.
Both of you?
Yeah. Only once through. Yeah.
I love that show.
We're trying to stay with the positive, lighter shows, especially through an upcoming election cycle and stuff like that, and just stay kind of above with the joy.
That's awesome.
Have you,
Cobra Kai's doing that for me right now.
Yay!
I listened to the audiobook of Mike Schur's How to Be Good, and it's all about the writing of The Good Place. It was such a good audiobook. He basically taught himself philosophy. Like, he basically did a philosophy degree, and the best bit is the actors do the footnotes. So you hear like random voices.
Nice.
So if you're looking for something kind of uplifting, and it's a bit of a thinker, but it's cool. Nice. It made me want to be a better person.
Oh, I'm definitely going to read it.
Listen. Let me know how you go, because I loved it. I
would
really
love
enjoyed
it. I would love to read that.
Yeah.
And then I did actually guest. I guested on my own podcast from last year. But I did season 1 House of the Dragon, and then I gave it to Wendy for this season, and I got to guest on an episode this season, and it was so fun, and I really loved that show. And I also think that Wendy has done an incredible job, like she always does, with the podcast. I highly
Veronica and Rennie. Yeah.
Yes. And I highly recommend checking that one out as well if you haven't. Actually, just listen to my episode.
Which one did you do? One of the later ones. What was it?
I did episode.
The good one.
5.
No, I'm joking.
I did the good one. Yeah.
5, okay.
Yeah, I think I did episode 5.
Yeah, I was so glad you wanted to do that. It's cool. This episode is made possible by Patreon supporters like Anat Icon, who've pledged their support at patreon.com/Jason Kabassi. So thank you to Anat. I do a more or less monthly, fully edited and produced Patreon exclusive podcast called The Zed Head Show, where I bring different listeners on and talk pop culture topics. And the one that was just released a couple of days ago was with Dina and Dodie, and it was top 5 character crushes, which was really fun. A little vulnerable, honestly, but it was super fun.